This is the Doom Tomb Podcast, the podcast for all things stoner, doom, and sludge. And speaking of podcasts, I was just on the Jamspace podcast with Zach Cry from the band Who to a Kill and his solo project. You can find that on Spotify. Also, Fuzzy Cracklins has a podcast. The stoner witch herself, Miss Melissa, she's got a podcast where she's doing interviews as well. And finally, don't forget to check out Blynd Submyshynnz. It has kind of a weird name. I will put a link in the show notes. They have been doing some really interesting outside of the box stuff, so hope you get to check that out. And also, Interstellar Smoke Records. You know, Jack was in a bad car accident recently, and anything you could do to help him out, give him a well wish, or if you got some extra money, get some vinyl or get something from him and help support him in his time of need. Thanks everybody for all that. And now we're going to get into another top 5 interview, and we're going to Colorado. Now, before we do, I just have to let people know, no, this is not the new format. I just had a bunch of top 5 episodes that I wanted to get out before starting to do the full-length interviews again, and that will happen very, very soon. This interview is with Freddy from the band Son of Grey. If you haven't already heard the interview with Fred from Son of Grey, please just pause this right now. Go back and listen to that first. You're going to get a lot of information. But now we're going to hear something a little different. We're going with the top 5. Fred from Son of Grey, what is your top 5?
Hey, Chris. Thanks for having me back, man.
You got it, brother.
My top 5 are movie soundtracks that are special to me, mostly the ones I grew up with. And these are soundtracks with bands with music. These are not scores with orchestras or anything. So
I got you. Yeah, you know, that was always a thing, because I would guess that the only score that I've ever owned was probably Star Wars.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's what's that guy's name? I'm blanking on it. John
Williams.
John Williams. Okay, thank you, sir. Very good. So, okay, enough of the man that doesn't know shit about soundtracks. Let's go to the man that does. Now, do you want to start from 5 and work your way to 1?
I do.
Okay. Coming in at number 5, what is the top 5 soundtrack for you?
Number 5, Heavy Metal, made in 1981.
Ooh, nice. Nice pull, man. We got some good ones on there, man. I know, well, Cheap Trick is on there a little bit, and Blue Oyster Cult. Even, Journey's on there. Stevie Nicks, which... Yes. If you would have told me that a song that's over 40 years old would be at the top of the iTunes charts, with Dreams, I mean, that's like everybody and their brothers getting like a TikTok video on it or an Instagram video of it, and different parodies from that guy that was on the skateboard and the ocean spray. Yeah. Okay, so how does this movie resonate with you and the soundtrack?
The movie, I love animation, and I remember staying up late one night, sneaking downstairs and quietly turning on HBO and watching Heavy Metal and just being blown away. And always loved like zombies and the skeletons and things. So I thought the show was fantastic, and especially the part where I want to say it's like 1942 and the plane crashes on the island with the army zombies. I mean, just so resonates and still holds, deep within my soul with that. So it was just great. And even though I didn't understand the music at the time, because I think I was only 6 or 7 when I saw this, it was a good introduction for me into the heavier type of music. And, as the years went on, I kept coming back to this show and still do, man. It's a great movie.
I wonder if that's going to happen again. Are we going to get these kind of movies again? Because, the late 70s, mid 80s, it was ripe. You had a lot of stuff. Yeah. I mean, whether it was something like this, or whether it was Fritz the Cat, or some of the go there. But whatever. But yeah, Heavy Metal, man. Of course, as soon as I saw it, I mean, I wasn't able to see it for a while because I was a kid. But yeah, I was like, I can't wait because it says heavy metal. Like, how can I not want to? How can this not be a thing? And I mean, there was a lot of good stuff. There was the band Trust was on there too, and didn't Anthrax do Antisocial was like a Trust song, I think, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. Aerosmith isn't on here though.
No. I'm just saying. I was just saying. I remember that was the only time I ever heard. Both, it was heavy metal, and then Anthrax. I think it was on State of Euphoria. They did Antisocial, and I think that's a Trust song. Is
it? Okay, I'll have to check that out. So
I could be completely wrong. And if so, fuck me. Okay, so we got that. So that is okay. So what are we going for the next one?
For number 4?
Yes, sir.
We're going with Christine, 1983, directed by John Carpenter.
The lead guy, he was also in Back to School, right? He was like the
Arnie.
I don't remember his name. I just remember
the main dude, the one that owned the car.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
He was the kid in Back to School. He was the son. Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I don't know. I mean, shit. Robert Downey Jr. was in that too, and Kurt Vonnegut was even in fucking Back to School. Jesus. But yeah, that movie. There was another guy. The guy that stabbed the lunch.
Yeah.
At first I thought it was like John Travolta or like Vinny Barbarino.
He did look like Johnny from fucking Welcome Back Carter kind of thing. So. Yeah,
but either way, I don't know. The lead guy, I always thought it was a little bit creepy. Yeah. Okay, so tell me about the soundtrack and why it's at number 4.
I liked Christine. One thing, I mean, I thought the movie was really well done for its time, kind of thing. It's before Viz Effects, really, and stuff like that. So, but the songs, again, coming from an editor's side, I love that if you watch the movie, every song that they picked for each scene, even the editor put the correct lyrics into what's going on in the movie. Yep. And I just thought that was so well done. And if you pay attention to that little nuance, it's just, I think it was done brilliantly, and big fan of the movie. So, and then, like I said, George Thorogood's in there, Bad to the Bone, a lot of good songs on there, Little Richard, Keep a Knockin', one of my favorites, Dion and the Belmonts, I Wonder Why,
Okay.
So, but that's a lot of the music my dad listened to, I guess, and that's what I grew up with. So, movie resonates with that with me too.
Even had ABBA, Name of the Game. Yes. and Runaway. That was it was performed by Bonnie Raitt, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that there's something to that. Now, as a man of music, such as you are, do you ever do that in day-to-day life? So, my wife is probably sick of it, as many of my friends probably are, where you say something. And I don't know, whatever it is, it could be, I think I'm going to get some watermelon. I said, oh, watermelon sugar high? And then it just, like, do you do that where you have to put in the lyric as you're doing something in life?
All the time. It's a beautiful thing, like when my wife can repeat it and she's there with me.
Right.
And also my sister, I talk to her a lot on the phone because she's still back in Pennsylvania, and we talk every day. And so it's we're always on the same wavelength with that, and it's just constantly, whether it's a line from an 80s movie or a lyric. So
yeah, I wish I've heard over time that it's like it's more apparent with males than females, but I think it's kind of even, All right, maybe not. I know. Yeah, there's
I think it's solely me in my house. So,
gotcha. Understood. All right. So let's go to number 3.
Number 3, man. I absolutely love this movie and the soundtrack. It is The Crow, 1994.
Ooh, man, you are getting into solid grunge with emo. That, and quite honestly, it's one of those soundtracks that I do own. I fucking loved it. The Cure, you know, every once in a while it seemed kind of a little whiny, but I didn't get it until I got older.
Yeah.
You know, Fascination Street's fucking, you know, Disintegration's incredible.
Yeah.
But Burn. I mean, it's
Burn
like
was another level, man. Love it so much, and it so sets that record off. As soon as you hear that, I'm off on that trip, and it was so well done. Really love that tune. Love grunge. Like I said, when grunge came out, it's Alice in Chains especially, and then Soundgarden. It's just fantastic, you know, the musicians.
Plus, you got some Nine Inch Nails. You got Dead Souls. Which
is a Joy Division cover. I did not know that either, and I was just listening to an article recently with Moss Generator Reed, Tony Reed.
Yeah.
And I guess he was saying that he was playing that back in the day, and somebody came up and said, "Oh, you're playing Nine Inch Nails," and he's like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "It's a Joy Division cover." So, and that's where I realized, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that either."
Right. But you know what? This is the thing. It's like with this release, the soundtrack, you've got some grunge, you've got some, I don't know if you want to call it emo, whatever. You've got some, I don't know, not necessarily punk, but like am rep style. Like you got Helmet, which I was always fascinated by hearing demos and such. Now I don't know, because Milquetoast was on Betty.
Yeah.
Sounded way more polished than this one did to me.
Yeah. Like almost this was this wasn't like a studio version or something.
It was something different. I'm not sure. And then, you know, you've got, you know, For Love Not Lisa, Ghost Rider. Rollins' band at this time was fucking massive. I remember seeing Rollins' band with Helmet and just destroying. Great stuff. Pantera's on there, and the beauty of it, when you go through an entire soundtrack, and please, everybody, listen to the entire thing from front to back, because at the end, you come with this woman, Jane Siberry, if that's the right pronunciation. It Can't Rain All the Time, and it puts it almost like it puts the whole thing into perspective.
It's beautiful ending. I mean, they tell a story with the soundtrack, and again, movie was, I thought, well done. So sad what happened with Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
You know, but just a great movie, and it came out at a great time for me. I would want to say I was a teenager, late teen, whatever, when that came out. And of course, all the girls went crazy, but I thought it was a really good movie. Yeah,
man, and it hit on a lot of levels. It really did, and you know, I mean, maybe there's some more mystique due to Brandon Lee, but I liked, you know, I just liked where it went, and yeah, we could use that again. We could use a movie like that again. You know,
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to, when I was putting this list together, these are the ones I grew up with and loved, and I was trying to think of newer movies and stuff, and I'm like, when was the last time a movie really had like good bands and good soundtracks with them, and you know, these kind of collages, and nothing came to mind.
Well, you know, speaking of soundtracks, one of the things that hurts me is when I grew up with a song and it was to a movie and it gave me a moment, it gave me a feel, and then, you know, 25 years later, 20 years later, whatever, here's another movie, it's got my song in it. Like, you know, Don't You Forget About Me is the end of The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Period. There's no fucking second guessing that. You know, could you imagine Burn being in something else other than The Crow? Man. Or whatever. I mean, you know, some of them are, you know, some of them, you know, they're going to be evergreen, you know, like Spirit in the Sky. I don't know how many movies that's been in.
Right.
You're going to have it. But there's some that just like, don't break that out. Don't break that from me, please. So, okay, enough of my rambling. What is the next in the top 5?
Coming down to number 2.
Number 2.
This movie, man, again, I was a kid when this came out, 9 or 10, I guess, but Maximum Overdrive, 1986. Okay. And I did not know that this was directed by Stephen King.
Yes.
So I thought that was fantastic. So, but This was one of those that just had one band that did it. It was AC/DC, did the whole soundtrack, and I thought it was so well done. The movie itself was awesome. I loved it, and very scary thought if any of that was possible. But it just I thought the movie was great. It was the heyday of Emilio Estevez with Young Guns and all that and stuff. And
and don't forget Men at Work.
Men at Work. Oh yeah.
Oh wait, was it Men at Work with with Charlie Sheen?
Yeah, in fact, I just watched that for like 2 weeks ago or whatever. My buddy had it on Voodoo.
Did you lose a bet?
But, the what?
Did you lose a bet?
It's actually pretty funny, man. So
it's really goofy, and it's just that thing where you go back and you watch movies. I did the other night where I'm like, wow, you can't do this anymore.
Yeah, a lot of going on. So much stuff I'm watching now, and it was just like grew up. I loved Airwolf growing up. Do you remember that, the helicopter? And
with J. Michael Vincent.
Yes, and I bought the DVD pack and brought that home, and it was just like so much stuff, like even for that regular TV, like how he treats girls and stuff. I'm like, wow, like that would not fly today. No,
not even a little bit. So going back to this Maximum Overdrive soundtrack,
yes. I
remember that people were just. There was a show when I lived in New York, and that's the first time I heard it. It was called Heavy Metal from Hell with Mark Dia, the King of Dirt, the Saltless Line, by the way. And he was like, he couldn't wait because, it was Who Made Who, obviously, but then the instrumentals, fucking. So you got DT,
yes,
and you got Chase the Ace,
yes,
which. I love that, and I was like, this is something very unique, because how many times do you hear a metal band that, they go sans voice just to fulfill the soundtrack? It's not common.
It isn't, and again, if you're familiar with the album and watch the movie and where the songs are, they're so well done. It's put in there, it fits the parts, and the songs themselves are just great. I mean, Who Made Who is fantastic. Of course, Shook Me All Night Long is a classic. Sink to Pink is good. Ride On is one of my favorites. I'd love to do a Doom version of that. Hell's Bells, right? I think
great choice.
Same thing with Hell's Bells. I mean, just so much emotion and stuff in that. And then again, Shake Your Foundations and Chase the Ace. It's a solid album, and I've had it like 5 times on cassette. So, it's just one of those where I can put in and be taken back to that era and listen to the whole thing front to back. And it's solid, man. It's good rock and roll. And to have one band do a whole movie soundtrack, I think is fantastic in itself too. And be able to
Hell yeah. Now, have you heard the new AC/DC?
Not yet.
Oh, please listen to it. It's, it's funny because some people say, sounds like AC/DC. Yeah, it does. Sorry, get over it. It's like, this is probably the last album they're going to have. Can we please enjoy this?
Right.
I might spring for that Lightbox thing that they got going on. I mean, shit, I bought the Tool CD, and that seems to be a trend. Maybe, I don't know. I can't say for a cash grab, but maybe for something where, we were going to buy this CD for $12, but now that we got like a video on it or something, it'll be $45, please.
Yeah, it's. I think some of those are cash grabs, but again, I guess you can't blame them either, because again, with the times and things going on, especially as musicians get older too, it's they start realizing they don't have much time, so they need to do cash in on this or that now to hopefully make them get through the next couple of years or whatnot.
It completely makes sense, and to end out with what you were talking about before about making a Doom track. Squealer, Will It Doom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Squealer. Okay, we got Ride On as a Doom. What was it? Oh, what Night Prowler? Was that Richard Ramirez track with AC/DC? It's not on here, but it was just like
yes, yeah.
I think that would be a killer Doom track.
Night Prowler. I'll have to write that down. And
is that off of High Voltage, maybe? Or no, Power Age?
I'd have to look it up.
Night Stalker? Which one am I thinking of? Help me out here, people.
Because I was like, didn't Priest have a song Night Prowler too or something?
They probably did. Let's see what we got here. Hold on a second. We're gonna edit this down, but I gotta find out. All right, hold on a second here. Let's see. Let's go into this.
Nightcrawler, AC/DC.
All right, you got it.
Yeah, I got the lyrics pulled up.
All right, because it's not on Power Age.
It's Highway to Hell.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nightcrawler.
Right on. Well, there you go. Nightcrawler would be a great one.
I'll check it out after you get off.
Yeah, please do, because it's awesome. And it was about Richard Ramirez, so it's extra creepy. So we got that going for us. Yeah. All right. So let's see. We got 5, 4, 3, and 2. What is number one?
Number one for me is just, can't explain how much this album means to me, the movie, everything, and that is Trick or Treat from 1986. And
so, running theme. So you had a mostly AC/DC, for the last one, and now we got mostly Fastway.
Yeah. Well, Fastway I know did the whole soundtrack. I think there was a couple extra songs that were in the movie but they didn't actually put them on the soundtrack. So, right. But that was my first taste of Fastway too, and I was just blown away. I thought the music was fantastic. I loved the vocals. For me, music, to get into a band, I need to be into the singer, and I think he's a fantastic singer. Dave King, who sang, I think that was his final Fastway album that he did with them, but right. Just so many songs on there that I thought were fantastic. And I didn't see the movie probably until 91 or 91, so I didn't even realize it was made the same year as Maximum Overdrive until I researched it today. But just a huge fan of the movie. Ragman was in it, and I guess I was the Ragman in school, as well as many other kids were, and it was just that constantly fighting with the jocks or this or that or whatever was going on, kind of nonsense and stuff. So it just again hit home for me on a lot of levels. And that was a time where I was listening to metal and getting into that, and my mom was on the opposite side of it, watching Donahue and learning about that Satanism is coming, for your child, kind of
Satanic Panic.
Yeah, and literally went in my room and tore down my Iron Maiden, a number of the Beast posters and everything, and took my music away and went to all that, just like in the movie. And so it just, again, it hit home for a lot of levels for that, because I was just like, the struggle is real. So.
Today on the episode that we're going to be doing, we're going to talk about heavy metal. Be prepared, because you'll see some shocking things, some imagery that will be scary. And yeah, it was all of that and then some. Again, it's feeding the media craze and stuff, and every housewife is sitting home now scared if their kids listening to the Motley Crue kind of thing. So it's it definitely served its purpose. It said shout at the devil. It doesn't say shout with the devil.
Right. So
yes, that was the Vince Neil quote, It's like, or Nikki Sixx, one of them. I don't know. But the even Trick or Treat, man, the cast, we got Skippy from Family Ties.
Family Ties, yes.
Who's also, he was a pretty good comedian, like a stand-up comic. I don't know if he did that. Doug Savant, that was one of the guys in Melrose Place. I'm sad that I know that, but I do. And Gene Simmons and fucking Ozzy.
Gene Simmons and Ozzy cameos. I mean, I thought that was fantastic. I was reading today that I guess Gene was offered the Sammy Kerr part, the lead role, but he didn't think too much of the script or something, and decided to take the radio announcer. But I thought that was cool too, because it said that he used Wolfman Jack as a inspiration for his role, and I thought that was cool, because again, growing up, like my mom and dad were always talking about Wolfman Jack with his radio show and stuff, and Howlin' Mad Wolfman Jack. So it was kind of neat to read that.
I wonder if there's ever going to be another one like that again. I mean, if and I'm not just saying this because it's a podcast, but you get like Joe Rogan, Adam Carolla, Mark Maron, I don't know, whoever else, Terry Gross, I don't know, Fresh Air, I don't know. But, you know, you're just like, I don't know if there's ever going to be a terrestrial DJ that's going to be at the top like that. Plus that voice, man. Oh my God. I don't know, man. My dad as a kid, he used to imitate that voice, and I was like, all right, whatever, Dad. I get it. Just, you know, have them introduce the music and let's move forward.
Yeah.
But it was massive. There was something like, you know, in looking back, I see some of that culture, and I'm like, but why was it culture? Like, you know, it doesn't matter whether it was Wolfman Jack or, Harry Chapin. Mm-hmm. So Harry Chapin did a song called WOLD, and then it was basically about, you know, hey man, you know, I travel from town to town. I'm a DJ, and you know, I'm making my dues, you know, but I don't have any roots to settle down. Or WKRP in Cincinnati, so it's a radio station. This is like all this radio stuff was like, it was like, and even Bowie, I am a DJ. I'm what, you know, and it's like there was a power in that, and that power is, you know, went away to computer.
Yeah.
And also at that time, for some reason, being a truck driver was like the most awesome thing in the world. And I mean, yeah,
that's only because you get to leave home. So
yeah, you got like Smokey and the Bandit, and you know, Convoy was a massive hit. And gosh,
those are two of my favorite shows from as a childhood, and especially Smokey and the Bandit too. I can't imagine how many times I set all my Matchbox trucks up and tried to do that whole thing with the cop cars and everything,
and running over it. Yeah, dude, it just brings back memories. And it wasn't but a month ago that I saw Smokey and the Bandit again, and you know, maybe I missed the jokes when I was a kid or whatever, but some of that stuff, you know, obviously some of it you can't do now, but some of the stuff from Gleason, like just the mannerisms and the ideas, it's so fucking good. I guess, and I think maybe after we get off, you know, like you're gonna listen to the AC/DC track, I might watch Cannonball Run.
I was just gonna say Cannonball Run. I love those, man. And Dom DeLuise, oh my goodness, grew up with him. And I don't know if you remember Fatso.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
He put the locks on the fridge and everything and stuff.
All right, I got a movie for you. Did you ever see Hot Stuff?
Yes.
With Suzanne Pleshette and Reed from Bandit. And
that was the cop, right? That saw red?
No, this was Hot Stuff was, they were all like police, and they decided to open up a pawn shop because people were stealing stuff, and then they would do this massive bust. I know, I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, I haven't seen that. It's probably since the 80s. It's bringing back so many memories. Wasn't it like on the beach or something where the pawn shop was or something?
I don't know, maybe.
It's all coming back to me, man. But yeah.
But there was a ton of comics in it, and you know, it was kind of silly, but it was like one of those when you first had HBO, and it was like on like 50 times, and it's like, yes. I don't know why I know this, but I do, and I'm kind of sad that I do. But awesome. But it was a fun time. It was fun times, and okay, so back when we did the interview, I asked you about random fact, like a weird fact you might know, whatever it is. I think I can say this now that like I knew Alfie Wise. Now a lot of people might be like, who? Okay, so picture Smokey and the Bandit. So the state trooper, the little guy.
Yeah.
Also the guy in Stroker Ace, and he was the
I know
assistant.
exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, the assistant to Robert Klein in Hooper. Fucking Hooper. Oh, so good. I knew that guy. I knew him very well. He didn't live too far from me in Florida. And the one thing that always killed me was like he knew everything about Burt Reynolds and everybody else because he was like a right-hand man. And Burt lived in Jupiter, Florida, which is where I used to work. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you've got stories. And he's like, oh yeah, what do you want to know? He dished dirt on fucking everybody. And I said, dude, there's a book here, man. There's an awesome, amazing book that you could, because anybody that grew up in the 70s and 80s knew all these films.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this would be like, and you go on every talk show and talk about it. It would be brilliant. I don't think he ever did it, and I don't know. I lost touch, but great dude, and and he was just exactly like you'd picture him being in real life. Yeah. But I think he went into real estate. So either way.
Yeah. But
right.
yeah, such good movies, man. And like I said, it was such a good time, eras and stuff, and I can't wait to share some of those movies with my kids. Of course, now too, it's funny having kids because you hold on to so much that you think is dear and near, and then when you go back and watch it, you realize it wasn't. Your memories are better than what the product was most of the times. That, or you love it so much, and then your kids are like, "Whatever, Dad,"
Yeah.
So I get that a lot too. So it's a toss-up.
I understand that. I get it, man. It's times change, things, attention spans change. Like you could, okay, so imagine it. So you got a kid and you're saying like, okay, the story is they have to get beer from one place to another. So the guy in a Trans Am picks up a girl that's going to get married, and then they go fast, and then there's a guy that really has the product that he kind of gets in trouble but doesn't, and he's got a dog. Okay, I'm with you, Dad. So what's the, like, how does it work? That's it. That's the whole story.
Yeah.
And there's jumps, and it's really good. Like, okay,
It's funny. I have such a fascination with cars, as far as fire trucks, police cars, the Batmobile, Knight Rider, anything interesting that was on TV when we grew up, and then going back and watching certain shows now, like Emergency and things like that. Old TV shows, it's like it was basically car porn because there wasn't a lot of acting, and there were so many shots of the cars doing so much stuff. It's like, well, no wonder. I'm into all that because that's exactly how it was growing up. It's like I don't remember any of the plots or any of the acting. It's just
Yeah, and there's no CGI,
right?
So it's all got to be done, and if not, then we don't get it. It's.
Yeah.
Oh man, I might have to watch Hooper again too.
Watch what again?
Hooper?
Yes.
That was I like because Jan Michael Vincent was in it.
Yeah.
With Reynolds. All right, I think we're babbling here. All right, brother. I think this has been an amazing top 5, and thank you for taking us down the lane in seeing what soundtracks were in your top 5. And by the way, to the public, this is always subject to change, so you never know. But
I have a couple of runners-up. Did you want to hear runners-up quick?
Oh, hell yeah, I do.
Just real quick. Runners-up, number 1 was The Faculty.
Ooh, yeah, man.
Alice in Chains did the Pink Floyd remake, which I thought was fantastic.
Yes.
So it was a good album. It was okay. The movie was all right. High school kids drama.
I think they had a Manson did a cover.
Yeah,
I think, and Korn.
Yeah,
as well. Yeah, that's a good one, man.
Number 2 was Dead Man with Johnny Depp.
Okay, here's one I don't know. Explain.
Neil Young did the whole soundtrack, and the movie was black and white, and it's very I won't say artsy, but it's a different kind of film. It's kind of like a trip, but Neil Young, just the guitar in it and stuff is phenomenal. But again, you want to be in the right headspace to watch it. But
right.
Very cool. I definitely recommend it.
I like that. When was that out?
I'll have to look it up. And then the last one I had was Wes Craven's Shocker.
Oh, yes. Good movie. I enjoyed it. And, there was a lot on there. Of course, at the time that Headbangers Ball was rocking, you had No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Yes.
Megadeth was doing the Cooper cover. You had Iggy Pop and such. But I it's funny because like I remember the movie, but I remember the wrestling part of it more. There was a wrestler, I believe, if I'm getting it right. It's called the Shocker, and he was supposed to be like, oh, you don't know what he's a crazy man, and they had him come through this doorway. I think it's on YouTube. They have him come through this doorway, and like he tripped and fell, and it was like, this is so anticlimactic, man. This is so fucking nothing. It might have even been.
That would ruin it.
Yeah, it might have been in accordance to this movie too. It might have been a
might have been. I remember the movie. I don't think it did very well, and I can't even remember the movie. But the biggest thing for me was the Megadeth. I was a huge Dave Mustaine fan growing up, and loved Megadeth. And when No More Mr. Nice Guy came out, again, just the video and all, I ate it up, and thought it was the greatest thing ever. And then I remember Dave and Alice co-hosted the Headbangers Ball for Halloween. And I remember because Alice put a Dave in a straitjacket and stuff like that and all. So it was just funny because you're always hearing that Dave's a prick, doesn't, get along with anybody. So it was kind of cool to see them two go at it.
Plus, you've got some other great, and maybe underappreciated. I got a special side of me for the late 80s metal. And I saw this person live a few times. Soraya had a song, and it's funny because sometimes when I hear female vocalists now, I'm like, you got that Soraya touch. Yeah. And I thought Soraya was going to be like the next big thing. And another band that I don't know if they were Texas based. As soon as I heard them, all I thought was Texas. So maybe they are Dangerous Toys.
Oh, I forgot. Yes, they are Texas, and love Dangerous Toys, man. Again, when they came out, to a 16-year-old kid in Pennsylvania, it's like they just seemed like the cool hip band, and the artwork I remember on the albums was fantastic, and it was just good stuff, man. We got to play with one of their guitarists. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he became a country star, and one of the country bands I was in Texas, he was playing with, and I remember we got to open up and I got him to sign my Dangerous Toys CD.
Nice.
God, name's escaping me, but and Dead Man was filmed in '95.
Oh, okay.
The Johnny Depp movie. So, but yeah, Billy Bob Thornton's in it, Iggy Pop's in it, a bunch of cameos, Kristen Glover, John Hurt, Lance Hendrickson, love that guy. Rest in peace, poor dude. But so anyway, it's a good movie. Like I said, check it out sometime when you just got, like 2 hours to kill and you're kind of looking for something different.
That sounds, hey, please, with everything going on, it's kind of weird that we've been a few months removed and, I miss my Doom family. I miss seeing them out and about, and we're home. So I got time. I got time to kill. I've been... whether it's a binge watch or a 2-hour movie or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I got some time.
That's what happened with us with the album. It's we obviously had to get the album done regardless. And as of March, when things hit, we weren't done yet. We were still in the midst and not even knowing if the lyrics would have got done. So it was just, we looked at it as kind of a blessing in disguise to, get caught up on things and keep working, and it's awesome now too with technology that we're able to work from our houses and sure. Film and podcast and record and still get it out there to the world. It's an amazing time to be alive in that aspect.
Hell yeah, it is. And you just had a bit of a phrase there, and it kind of reminded me. Has there ever been a friend of yours, and you might have had a conversation with them, like, you're saying the phrase wrong, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Like, and to say this, like, when you said a blessing in disguise, a coworker of mine, he was Swedish, so he had a bit of an issue sometimes with getting the right terms. So he'd say, Chris, it's what they say, it's like a blessing in the sky. And I was like, I said, yeah, but there's always like a reason. It's like, it's like, because, heaven. Yeah, it's good. You know, it's like, I don't know how to say it, but it's like you bring a horse to water, but like you can't make it pee. I'm like, why would you, like, no, because like when you're drinking, like, do you want to pee? I was like, well, technically, I guess I don't. I guess you're right. Shit. Have you had that happen?
No, I'm usually the one doing that. My buddies are usually the one correcting me, so that's why I like having them around.
There you go. Well, if you want, this is the one that always caught me and the one that made me laugh the hardest from him. He says, you know, it's crazy these times. You know, we got things over here, we got things over here. He's like, it's like I'm caught between a rock and a hard on. Okay.
I've been there a few times, so.
Look, hey man, Fred, whatever you got going on, it's your own business. I'm not gonna, you know, you do
and
you.
I didn't stand up the interview, so.
Fair enough. I appreciate it in more ways. Yeah. I'm actually surprised. You know, now that I think about it, I am fully dressed, and like maybe I should be a little less, but either way.
No one will know your secret.
No one will know. Fred, it's been an honor again to talk to you and do the top 5. Anytime you want to come back on, talk about a new project or anything, hit us up and we'll be here for you.
Awesome, Chris. Yeah, I got a bunch of things in the works, and I'd love to come back on soon and talk with Mac Falls with you about the recording. That'd be nice. So,
that would be killer, man.
Yeah,
again, Son of Gray, where are we going to reach you on social media?
sonofgray.com, and then we also are available everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Apple Music, Pandora. Anywhere you can find music, we are available. So check it out and see if you dig it.
And how can you not? It's great stuff. It's great material. Head over there and pick up what you need. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.
Doom on.
You got it. Thanks, Freddy, for giving us your time. Always welcome back on the podcast. Huge thank you goes out to Ian for all things sound for the podcast. You can reach him at No Masters Audio. The link is in the show notes. doomtombpodcast.com for new and archived episodes. Across social media, it's doomtombpodcast and doomtombpodcast@gmail.com. You want to do an interview, you need a review, you have a submission, hit us up. Craniumradio.com, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've got a show. It's called The Doom Tomb. It's all the music that you know and love, and, you know, it's the kind of stuff that you just want to sit back and crank it up. Also, don't forget, if you got a little extra money, or if you could just give him a little well wish, hit up Jack at Interstellar Smoke Records. He was just in a horrible car crash, and we wish him the best and a speedy recovery. Also, finally, don't forget the Jamspace podcast. I was just on it, and so was Ian. And Fuzzy Cracklins, he's got a podcast. And Miss Melissa, the Stoner Witch herself, has a podcast where we're all doing interviews, and I think it's like high tides raise all ships, you know? So check them out, download them, subscribe, and tell them what you think. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We will talk to you again soon. So until that next time, meantime and in between time, support your bands, reach out to your friends, and don't forget to stay heavy. Hey, it's the end. Like, what are you still doing here? Oh, well, okay. So while you're still here, I'll just tell you that I have an interview coming up with a lot of the members. Actually, one extra one from the band Lucifer, and that is coming up soon. And then, well, we haven't even done the interview, but I'm going to be doing it in just a bit. I believe the way you pronounce the band name is Hexerai, and they are out of Canada. Looking forward to that and looking forward to getting it up right away. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.